Hi, Jez here from nigezza.co.uk, and I'm here with a Valentine's card. It is Sunday and Valentine's Day is on Wednesday, so you've just got enough time to rustle up a card. And I've done this. It's an Eclipse card, slightly different Eclipse card than normal, with some hand stamp background, and I've done it in blue to match the chocolate orange box that I made before with that blue heart on it, because they're both going to the they're both going to the same person. Okay, so stay tuned and I'll show you how I made it. So to make this card, you need a sheet of A4 cut in half lengthwise. You need a piece of, I'm using Night of Navy. You choose whichever colour you would wish, but I'm doing it to match my box I made the other day. This measures 3 3/4, sorry, by 10.5. That's then going to get chopped up, and then this piece that you're going to stamp on is 3.5 by 9.5. And then you need the rest of the blue cardstock that you cut out of your A4 sheet. You're going to use that to cut out your letters. And if you cut that piece in half and then fold it in half, you can cut 2 out at a time. And that's what I did. So let's do the stamping on this. I'm going to get a scrap piece of paper. There we go. That doesn't look very scrap, but it is. Okay, and I'm using the heart happiness to stamp all over it. So I've mounted all the hearts. I haven't done the flower or the leaf or the row of hearts, but I've mounted everything else, and I'm going to use an array of blue. But the first thing I'm going to do is the stripy heart in the Night of Navy, because I want it to match the box I made for the orange, the chocolate orange. I've double mounted. I'm just going to take that off for now. So I'm just going to stamp this over. When I did this in practice, I actually did it on a full sheet of A4. To then sort of chop up, which you can do. Okay, and I might do just one going off the corner there. Okay, so that's that one. Then I'm going to come in with Dapper Denim, I think. I'm going to do this floor run. Let's take that one off. When you've got such a small space, it's actually not quite so easy to stick these on. There, on there. Let's do a bit coming up there. Bit on that corner. Coming down there. And over there. There, I think that will do nicely. And then we need to cut this up, and I need my trimmer. So these are going to be our panels that have the letters cut out. These are going on top of the card, and these need to be, so it's already 3.5 that way, and it needs to be 2 3/8. Don't worry about the measurements, they will all go on my blog. And what we've got to remember is that's got to be L if we want it to coordinate so that it flows. So that's L, 2 3/8. That one's going to have the O, another 2 3/8. That one's the V, and then this should measure 2 3/8, which it does, and this is the E. So I am just going to run these through the big shots and cut them out. Okay, see you in a minute. So when cutting these out, I did eyeball it to make sure that they were pretty central, and then I just ran it through, cut them all out in one sweep. I always go forward and backwards when cutting out. Okay, so that's that done. We'll put them to one side because we don't need them just yet. Okay, so now we're going to trim our blue card, and these are blue mats are 2 5/8 across and 3 3/4 that way. So I'll just cut these to 2 5/8, and this is all done to give us a nice 1/8 of an inch border all the way around each of the mats. And then that last one is 2 5/8 as well. So there we have it. Now we need to do some scoring on the card base. So it's length of A4 that way, and we're going to score it at 2 7/8, 5 3/4, 8 6/8, which is 3/4 again. That's not right. I need to check my measurements. 2 secs. So that'll be 8 5/8. All the measurements will be on my blog, and they will be correct on there. And we just need to chop 1/4 of an inch off the end there, because the maths don't work if we don't do that. And that's simply done by going there to 1/4 and chopping it off, and then that works lovely. And I'll just give it a burnish. Then we just fold and burnish on those score lines. Do one way, then the other, then the other. So valley and mountain, so that it stands up like so. Okay, get rid of that cut mark. Sometimes you get a cut mark. I'll just smooth it out with your bone folder and it'll be lovely. Okay, so we're going to stick these mats on each of these segments. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with my fast fuse. There we go. You might notice a slightly different film setup. I'm actually at my sister's, so I'm not at home. I've come home, so to speak. I've come back to the southwest, and I am filming in her kitchen, right in front of the kitchen window. It was bright and sunny just now, but typical. It's not bright and sunny now that I want to film, so I hope the light is okay. Oh, moved. There we go. So that's that mat. And then we've got our hello VE, and so that needs sticking down on top. I will put some fuse around the letters to make sure that they stick around where the letters are. So again, nice little border, stick that down. Do the O. You've got to stick the middle of the O in as well. I turned that upside down wrongly. I'm doing it so it is the same sort of stamp pattern going along. Do the V. It's at this stage where I worry that I stick the wrong letter in the wrong place. Put down the centre of that. It's very hard to get fused down the middle of that bit, so I'm going to get a little bit of Tombow just for that. A little bit on the middle there, which is now stuck to my finger, and the L. There we go. And then lastly, RE. And again, I'm going to get some Tombow for these bits in the middle. And then to stick the O in the right place, I'm going to pop it out. Place this in the right position. Get a bit of Tombow on the back. And then stick it down. Oh, yes, Tombow gives you wiggle, but you don't actually want wiggle at this point. So stick it in. I'm going to use my pokey tool to just get that back out. Now at this point you could do the traditional Eclipse, which would be to put sticky pads over that and stick it on, but we're doing a different sort of Eclipse so that these will be a bit sort of sturdy, because well, I certainly do. I've kept every single Valentine card that my other half's ever given me, and as we are celebrating 30 years this year, that'll be like 30 cards. Yeah, that's why I thought I'd do it this way, so that they can be kept. So I've got 4 of each letter, and I'm going to stick them together. So I'll show you one, and then you can work it out from that. So we've got 4 of the blue, and I've done it in the blue, so that's what shows up, and then you've got the other L for the end. Okay, so I'm going to use Tombow to glue these, because that is better than fast fuse for this job. So, and I think in terms of time, there's not a lot in it, because it actually takes quite a bit of time to stick sticky up pads on all your letters. So they're both as time consuming as the other. It doesn't actually take that long when you do it. So, and then just stick this one on the top. Because the Tombow oozes a bit, then that spreads out to the sides and it'll go in, and then just a bit on there and stick it in the aperture that has been left. Get it down for a bit. I'll get a little block, hold it down, and you can see that that gives you that sort of eclipsey look, where you can see the blue cards. So very similar to if it was stuck up on sticky pads. And if you want to make it higher, you can always cut out some more. So I'll do the rest and show you what they turn out like. Okay, so I've stuck them all down and I've cut these little hearts here out. I don't have the framelets that go with the heart die set, but you can stamp set, but you can get it. But this, it's retired now. This was the stitched heart that was in the Trim Your Stockings. But any sort of heart punch that you might have, and I think most people have a heart punch, don't they? And the little mini dimensionals are just the right height. So I'm putting the sticky bit on the other side, and that sits there nicely, and I've covered up that little mistake, so that was handy. Oh, I've pulled the top off already, so I'm going to put that on that outer edge. I just think just gives it a little extra dimension and just some extra interest to the card. and the little finishing touches. They're the things that make all the difference. So there we have it, my little masculine Valentine card. You can do it in any colour you want. I just chose blue because I made the blue gift box, so that'll be a nice sort of matching set. Okay, all the details will be on my blog, nigezza.co.uk. Okay, see you again soon.